creature of the night, not the most pleasant of sight. If alone, gaze into the darkness, I will be there representing blood's kiss. Creature of the night, don't mean to bring you fright. I'm a creature of the night, not the most pleasant of sight. If alone, gaze into the darkness, I will be there representing blood's kiss. All right, hello, creatures of the night here. Joined again by in person. Well, I mean, he's in another room, but here. But we have Emo Bro Zach is back, and we also, of course, have Sasha also in there. Running a little bit late tonight, but we were kind of going through some real life stuff that we were dealing with, and Zach had just literally got in this afternoon, unloading of the car, gave him a chance to shower and clean up. So, I mean, here we are. Good evening, creatures. Oh, there you are. I didn't know if you gave up because we were 2 hours late, but hey, we're here. So hopefully everything's going all right there. So a few things we'll go over. Most of it will actually probably be the other two talking. I mean, my thing's really just about internet issues, and our concert that got last minute canceled last weekend. Other than that, I don't have a lot to say tonight, but I know Zach probably has several things about his adventures and his latest trip. And kind of go from there. And then we're talking about Gothmas a little bit also, as now this is the first creatures during the official Gothmas month. So that's exciting. I like it better when you start after dark. Well, there you go. Yeah. And I'll tell you why. I'll be very candid and very open. But I think that one reason we kind of were aiming towards 6:45, 7 o'clock local time was in part to accommodate a couple individuals, one of whom probably will never watch us again, and the other one was a gaming buddy in Ireland, but sometimes Friday nights are always hit and miss anyway, and so we don't always connect. So might be one of those things where if it's 7:30 start time, I don't feel as bad. It is what it is, because it does seem like 6:30, 6:45, I'm rushing to try to make it happen because I'm only off my day job at 4. So we'll see. Try to find that happy medium because we're trying to do this and juggle multiple things. Changing the night that we have creatures, that was also another option, but we'll notify you if we end up doing that. But right now, because I know some people that used to watch, they can't catch us now because of their work schedules changed or something changed. So a different night might work better for them. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But okay. So great to see you all. Welcome back, Zach. She says.
Oh, thank you.
So, and how do we sound? Can you hear all of us good?
Are we good?
Give you a chance to respond.
Trying to get it to go away.
The sound.
No, I'm trying. So I was trying to get the link so I can send it to my friend Bonnie, but she's about to go to bed. So.
Ah, boo.
No,
Just
my
like
friend
Bonnie
Bonnie.
Bonnie the tortoise is about to go to bed.
She has to work in the morning, so
Your tortoise things.
Yeah, I know, right? No, Lupita says creatures on Friday
Yeah,
night is
Eric.
okay. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Bonnie's your unofficial secretary, I imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, good. She hears this all fine. Good. And we got Friday the 13th on a Friday. Yes, I know that's kind of our Halloween 2.0. So we definitely figure out something to do for creatures on the 13th. So we'll have to see what goes on there. But of course, as we kind of talked previously, as we're in the Gothmas season here, we can talk a little bit more about my team Paranormal Endeavors cases. Talk about, so I mean, things that are more in that, I guess, theme or realm of ooh and ah and ooh, several things that we can pull up, whether it be clips and pull up from YouTube or just talk a little bit more about behind the scenes of cases and stuff, whatever. So Spooktacular month is here. Finally. Seemed like, I don't know about you, but it seemed like August took forever to finish, and September went fast, like super fast. It was like September and then boom, gone. And now we're in October. If September
August
was
always.
cooler, I would have been like, no, September, don't go so fast. I'm not ready to wake up that Green Day guy yet. But it's actually okay that it went because September ended up being another June. Mother Nature didn't get the hint that it, needed to calm down and cool off its tits. So, yeah. Don't sound so disenchanted about the ooh and ah. Nice. Okay, so a few updates here. So as you see, Zach is back. His travels out east. I guess we could start with him first. We could talk a little bit, open the floor to you. So how was your travels? What things did you learn? Self-reflections, adventures?
uh, my last trip in May and June was kind of like my healing trip because I went through a lot of family trauma before that, and it just kind of mixed up my emotions. And basically, everything was kind of not really falling apart, but it was just a very sort of sad thing. But basically I wasn't talking to my parents for months because we kind of got in a fight. So, but all that's resolved now. We talked twice. I actually got to see him when I left this time, unexpectedly, because my sister basically begged me to come see her kid's graduation. So felt guilty because I saw the other two graduations. So and the younger one is the closest to me. It's like, well, I better make it happen. So anyway, I saw my parents and we kind of made up, and it was a good visit. And I found out my sister also does earthing as well, so I'm not the only one. So earthing's where you go barefoot outside and connect to the earth. And ever since I've been doing that, my whole life has changed. I have more energy. I'm happier. I've let go of negativity like that. I can actually kind of sense what's really true and what's not. It's basically my spiritual senses are getting more aware and awakened as I go on. It's not just because of that. It's because of other things too I've been learning. But that's kind of how it started. So I think it's kind of cool. It started with one of our cases because we were doing finishing ritual one of our cases, and that's what they asked me to do was to take my shoes and socks off and step on the earth, and I just felt different instantly. So it's really kind of cool that my sister did it too. And so after that visit, since I'm way out in Lubbock, Texas, I wanted to go see Roswell. So I visited all the alien sites, and then I ended up to Albuquerque to see all the Stranger Things horror locations from California, and that was awesome. The highlight of that was going to Rinkomania. If you watch the show, it's a skating rink that they visit. I don't want to talk too much about it because we're still watching season 4, it's one of the highlights from that season. And so I got to roller skate. I was really bad at it, just like Mike. But it was a lot of fun to try to do it again. So then I kind of slowly worked my way out east. I kind of worked all my way there, and I worked all my way back. Um, so I found out I can work in every city. You know, that was kind of good to know. I already kind of knew that, but I never actually did it like that. So that was good to really find that out. So and then I just kind of worked, and then it was August, so it was the hottest time of the year. So I didn't really get to work too long during the day. I was mostly working at night, but again, with the type of work I'm doing, what I used to do earlier in the year doesn't seem to be working anymore. So I've been having to adapt my plans. I haven't made as much as I wanted to because of how the market is over there now. But on the way home, I found out that the city closest to the mansion is a lot like how Raleigh used to be, and I can easily make double there in Nashville. So I'm going to be going back and forth to Nashville during Gothmas to work and continue my payoff plan to get debt free next year. So, because next year I want it to be the year that I actually experience my new life and have it manifest to reality. So, like, I want to do the cases. I want to get more involved with the team and learn evidence analysts. I want to start making YouTube videos and TikTok videos. I set up all my channels. It's called Kai11, like my nickname on Facebook, and I want to start making videos helping autistic people learn how to relate to the world and be themselves, teach them about things I've learned, and also start affiliate marketing so I can actually earn income from home making videos. Not this on monetization. I can't say that word, but with affiliate links as well, and that's perfect because you don't have to advertise. You just put out videos, and then that's where you get your traffic from. So I've been learning all about it these last 2 months, in addition to working. So I was able to do both, so that was good. So I'm excited to get that going. Now that it's cooler, now I have even more energy because the heat's gone. I just have to finish, paying off a couple expenses, and then I have to get my car changed out next year because it's getting older. But I think I have another year left on it. But I'm also going to set up shop in Illinois now. I officially retired North Carolina residency when I left. It's gonna be set up here now, so I'm excited. So that means when I get my new car and everything, it'll be here. So I don't have to like worry about going back and forth anymore. So unless I want to visit, so I want to focus on staying closer to home, starting my business online, phase out the driving work as my business grows. Maybe even do pet sitting here again. Because that's something I can do locally. That's what I really enjoy, and I can do it when I want. So it might be kind of cool seeing farm animals and things like that. So, but
Much
I'm
much better
excited
than
to
having
learn
someone
more.
in your back seat causing damage or something like that. Ubering was just.
Yeah, yeah, Ubering is crazy. I meet a lot of really cool people, but there's a lot of shady people too. And
Mm,
yeah. Someone actually cut the back of my seat back in Houston, and I didn't know about it. They put two slits, almost like he was like Freddy Krueger or something like that.
mm,
So I'm so glad it was the seat and not my throat.
mm, yeah.
So it's crazy, and it's been a really hard year. Just like how Shasha kind of went through with her situation, I've been having to transition and learn as I go, and face not only my fears but actually learn what my strength really is. And this is actually the first time I'm doing something on my own and not because someone said it's good. Because everything I did up to this point was because someone either showed me or told me it's great, whatever, and I should do it. I never done anything myself. This is the first time I'm ever gonna do this, so I'm excited, but I'm mostly excited, not nervous, because with the help of Eric and Sasha, I'm a lot more camera friendly than I used to be.
Hmm.
You watch my old videos, so one thing I want to do too is I want to get contacts next year, so that way I can have this look again and actually be able to see better. So, but because the glasses are cool too, but I want contacts again because I think they're better now.
Sasha
I
just
get
had
my
contacts issues. She just has her glasses on, not that long, because she has her
when
contacts in
yeah.
most of the time.
When I do my long drive, which I'll get to on my end, it's easier to have my glasses on rather than my contacts in because they start to get blurry, especially driving at night.
Hmm.
So it's safer for me to have my glasses on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like having both, but it'd be nice to have the option so I can use the contacts for video and content creation, but I have my glasses too in case others don't want to wear them. I think
Mm-hmm.
both are valuable.
Yeah.
I would like to eventually get my eyes corrected, but I had to make a lot of money for that. So,
Mm-hmm.
Same here.
Yeah.
so
I'm legally blind without mine, so.
but I am hoping because some of the videos I watched on TikTok, there was this pet sitter that started doing affiliate marketing for pet sitting Rover, which is one I'm part of too. And she started suggesting like survey apps and Rover and DoorDash, whatever, all the stuff that I do, by the way, except for maybe the survey apps. 5 months later, she's making like 30, 40,000 a month from her affiliate marketing. It's like that's I need to get started, and I got to be consistent. I want to post something every day or every couple of days, and just keep going with it, and eventually it'll manifest the reality where I can do anything I want and with anyone, and I don't have to worry about money anymore. So that's my goal. So.
Lupita says, yeah, Zach, tell us wonderful earthing things. Love when you talk about it, the earth being alive, a powerful force, and that wonderful stuff. And roller skating is so fun. Yeah, roller skating I didn't mind myself either. I liked it better than roller blading. Blading was not good for me. Blading though, that was, or skating regular with the all fours, that was good. I like that. So I just hadn't
Unless
done it in
you're
a while.
me, have that luck where back in school, somebody, we were at a skating party for school. Well, this kid zoomed in front of me and made me fall, and I sprained my ankle. And ever since then, I've not gone roller skating. My
Mm-hmm.
kids like it. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I also kind of imagine rollerblading would be easier because the roller skates are wider and you have like one set of wheels versus two. Because I went ice skating before and that was a whole lot easier. So, but I don't know. So, I never
Mm-hmm.
actually tried rollerblading, but I fell about 3 times. And if you watched my Stranger Things video, I said I was really bad at this,
Mm-hmm.
but I did do it, and I'm glad I
I
did it.
haven't watched it yet because we haven't watched season 4,
Yeah,
and
she
I
she
watched
so having to piece it kind of together, she was kind of like her eyes shut, trying not to
I
listen to
quite
it.
yeah, I quite literally just kind of put the videos in sequential order and then sent it to him for him to view, and he's like, "Oh well, this one's or I need this one put in, or these two were supposed to be swapped," and I'm just like, "Okay." So I had to go through and resave every single video, which I mean they weren't that much. That one was a smaller one,
It's
but
perfect. He did it. So.
but yeah, I was like, I couldn't watch it, and of course, while it's uploading to save it, it's playing the entire thing, so I had to kind of keep my eyes shut, just like check it every once in a while to see if it was done because I didn't want to spoil shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe we can start watching it soon. That'll probably be a thing in the past.
Yeah.
So, and we can just laugh about it until season 5 comes out. I guess
Mm-hmm.
next year maybe.
Hopefully.
So,
So that's where we're at with that. So he's back now. I'm gonna be working a lot around a little bit closer, and just kind of going that.
yeah,
But he
end
wanted
of
to
year,
explore Gothmas at least and not miss it all. So.
yeah, and about the grounding thing, the biggest thing I've learned is my concept of God has kind of changed. That I actually feel the energy in the earth, and because He's in every living thing, and that's really how it is. That's what spirituality is. So it's not what the religion says. I'm so happy to finally understand that and know the truth of that because the religion always made me depressed. I didn't want to believe it, but now I know what really happens, and I'm so thankful for that and free. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everybody has their opinion on a specific religion. If they believe in it, they're going to view it a different way than the person next to them,
Right.
and so on and so forth. So that's part of the reason why, way back when, we're doing this for God was the huge thing, is
Mm-hmm.
to validate the reasoning for why they were attacking people or
Mm-hmm.
whatever the hell they were doing.
And what got me from the
Yeah.
paranormal side of things is like the people who get excommunicated because they talk about a ghost in their house. Isn't that the most ironic thing. It's like I go to church and it's like, I have this ghost in my house. You are no longer part of this congregation. You do not have, the only ghost is Jesus. But it's so fun. It just doesn't make any sense, so.
Holy Ghost is the Holy Ghost.
Yeah. So unless your name's Luke, Matthew, Jesus, or Mary, no ghost for you. It's like, come on.
No, that would be blasphemous that Jesus would be a ghost.
I know. It's a funny thing. That's why they say the best ghost stories of all, Christmas and Easter. It's like, yeah, I mean, when you think about it, but yet you can kick people out and decide who can go to it never sat right with me.
Yeah, and I had to argue my aunt about it because she's like telling me Bible verses and stuff. She's like, well, I hate to tell you this, but Jesus will not be happy with how you're treating me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's all about love and
It's all
forgiveness.
about love and all that stuff, but yeah, there's not everybody, but a lot of Christians are very judgmental of anybody who has a different belief because it is a different belief.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just it blows my mind. It's like supposed to be all accepting and everything else, but yet a lot of them are not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I found a couple really cool channels. I don't know the names off the top of my head, but they basically take what's written and they actually explain what really happened, and it's so healing to listen to it because I believe it all, but the way it's traditionally presented, it's very questionable, and it's so unlike what's really true. So I won't get into details, but there are videos out there that explain it more. It's called deconstructing. So basically, what that means is you're breaking it down to find the real truth. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been doing that for the last 6 months, actually longer, but really in the last 6 months, ever since I experienced my first grounding session, because I instantly knew that I wasn't alone, and just like Aaron, my best friend who passed away, my mother, they're always with me. I know they're here now, so and that's really what spirituality is all about. So.
Mm. Yep, so that's what's going on there. Kind of switch over a little bit. So, Sasha, tell us what's going on in your world.
Which part?
Well, start off with what's the name of that thing on your shoulder or behind you?
It's actually just kind of chilling over here.
Oh yeah.
My little pet dragon.
Nice.
He came back with me from Indiana because I had officially gotten to go and see my kids.
Yeah, for those of you who didn't know, and caught maybe a little bit last week, but she got her car fixed and working now. And speaking of working, she's going to actually be returning to her work.
Hey, don't jump over my... No, let me tell my story.
Go ahead. That's the synopsis. This is actually capturing up because of what we talked about a little bit last week, but now it's happened. Okay. So go ahead.
Yeah, because you're right going over her helmet.
No, sometimes he'll jump in and start like saying, well, she's gonna tell you about this, and then it's like there's nothing left to tell.
Oh, there's plenty. There's a lot, like you said, where to start, and she has a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
A relationship with God is so special and unique. You can't really impose your experience as a way, as the only way to connect. Cute, probably about that.
Yes.
And you got back fast, Sasha. Okay, go ahead.
Well, so on Monday night, I got to go and work at Meyer, which my company is called Serve You Success. We are a vendor in Meyer. So we work with them, we're partners with them, but we don't work for them. And there's a app that is called Hire that we use to actually hire temporary help when we need it. Well, since I am an assistant manager for Serve You, it's a no-no to work at your own location. You can only work on the Meyer side, not the Serve You side. So I went there and I kind of getting my toes back into it, seeing how well it worked. It's very different doing, the GM side of stuff, which is anything non-grocery is called GM, for anybody who has never worked retail. So it was a little different doing that kind of stuff because my job specifically is for grocery stuff. And so it wasn't really anything different for me because I worked at Walmart for so many years and I didn't do grocery at that point. I hated doing grocery at that point. So GM was my domain. So of course, one of the managers that had never met me before, it was his first time, but the other one that hired me for the night, um, he knew me. Like he was very happy with my work, and so like that's part of the reason that he went ahead and made sure to specifically hire me so that I could get the extra hours and stuff. So the guy who didn't know me, he's like, "Why don't you put in an application for part time here?" I'm like, "That's not how that works. I can't, regardless, even if I wanted to, because I work for Servview. You can't have both jobs." And so I worked that night, and as soon as I was done working, drove all the way to Indiana. My plan was to surprise my kids. They weren't going to know that I was coming, but of course, my youngest had a meltdown right before I went into work, called me sobbing uncontrollably about how she missed me. So I ended up having to spill the beans and tell her, "Well, you're going to see me here tomorrow because I'm on my way."
Aw.
And I'm sitting here like thinking I didn't say it to her, but I'm thinking, "You little shit. Of course, that out of the last 4 months that I've been gone, this is going to be the night that you choose to have a mental breakdown about me being gone. The eve of me coming to see you." Like, all right. So I ended up telling her, and of course she told her sister, so they knew that I was coming. It wasn't a surprise like I was hoping it would be. But needless to say, I got to see my kids. The first night we stayed with my sister, had dinner at her place, and they had to go back to their dad's that night just because I didn't. My sister doesn't have the room for me to stay there, or not with the girls. It's too small of a space. I slept on her couch. So the next night, I made sure to get a hotel room so that my kids were able to stay with me. Unfortunately, the pool was an outdoor pool, and so it was closed. So they were slightly disappointed on that, but don't know if anybody remembers the movie Princess Diaries with Anne Hathaway from when we were younger. Got my kids hooked on that. So at least that's one bonus point for me. Took them to Hibachi Grill, so they got their Chinese food. They were very, very happy with that. And then yesterday, my plans to have them get to see my best friend Nick kind of fell through because he had other things going on that ended up just it wasn't gonna end up being a possibility for this week. So they were a little disappointed about that, and so took them to the mall, kind of walked around, didn't really have a whole lot of extra spending money, so I guess my oldest wasn't too thrilled about that because of the fact we had no spending money, but that's he's a kid, he'll get it eventually. Um, so then I drove back to Illinois last night, and
The same time I did. So.
well, I found out from my big boss that because I'm on leave right now still, technically I don't work for Servview. So, in all technicality, I can work Servview through the Hire app. So I got to actually go back and do my job last night, which ended up I walked into a hot mess and a half, and I called my boss. I said, "What happened?" He goes, "Well, you're back now. You can help us fix it, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I fixed this before. I'll fix it again." So
Reminds me of a movie.
I well, and I had him set me up for just 5 hours because when I did the Meyer part of it, they did 200 cases, and with how my foot is, I couldn't do that. I mean, the guy still ended up paying me for the 200 cases because of me having to put stuff that was out of place in their proper homes and stuff like that so I could do my job because my OCD kicks in with that kind of thing. Eric can attest to this when he sets things randomly off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's not where that goes. Um, so yeah, I ended up getting paid the full amount, even though I didn't quite do 200 cases. So last night I did the hourly. So that ended up being better for me. And then I ended up staying 8 hours instead of just 5. So by the time I left, I made it a good dent in what needs to be done. Still have a very long way to go because they still have products from when I left.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I had 2 elk cart full of uh, expired food because they fell so far behind that stuff was just sitting on pallets in the back and nobody's touched them. So yeah, it's going to be fun getting it caught back up, but I've done it before twice at the same store, so third time's the charm. I'm not allowed to get hurt anymore for my boss and Meyer management and basically everybody else who knows me anyways, but yeah, they told me I'm not allowed to leave it again, so I take that as a good sign. Uh, so got all that situated, finished driving back this morning. By the time I got home, I was exhausted, and then I've been dealing with some. I've got to step away. My daughter's actually calling me,
Okay.
so
I did get some credit for that because Sasha, as you know, is a little stubborn sometimes. Because what she was trying to do was get set up on doing some deliveries, Uber deliveries and stuff around here, which she did for as soon as she got her car. Well, she even did one or two borrowed my car, but I only felt comfortable with her going to like Macomb with that, which is a different one of the nearer towns. And so once she got her car fixed, then she did several days of trying to do it. So then I think she could see, because I kind of could be like, well, see, now you know a little bit more what Zach was talking about kind of some slim pickings around the immediate area. She did have to, once she got her car back, then she was able to go to the bigger city a little bit. But she was seeing, I think, firsthand about how hit and miss that can be out here. And so I said, well, why don't you, since you have your car back now, it's working, and your foot is almost as good as can be. I mean, it's still some healing, but it's at least she can walk on it and carry some weight a little bit on it. Check in with your boss instead of waiting until complete, the disability time frame runs out. See what you can do. So I kind of encouraged her to do that, and she did, and she lucked out. They managed to get her that shift or two that she's, even if it's kind of a part-time or a reduced hours, still better and a guaranteed wage amount than what she would have just doing deliveries. So I was happy that she was able to get back into that a little bit, but with my push,
Yeah, and I'm still behind, so I'm gonna have to go 4 to 7 hours away and just stay for a week to
mm-hmm,
do this stuff because the stuff around here, some days are great, some days are dead. So I don't
mm-hmm.
know. So,
That's what she was experiencing the first time. She said she'd never seen it like that before. Normally, it's I guess she's had better luck with it before. And again, she didn't do the Instacart, so it was only the Uber or the other one. So
DoorDash.
DoorDash is what I meant. Yeah, dashing.
Yeah,
That's what I meant.
Uber doesn't work in Macomb. I tried, so I
Yeah,
get to go to Springfield. Get ready for that one.
yeah.
So.
So there's that. But now she's getting better to start. This coming weeks will be her first week. Originally, even before these few shifts that she got, like the one on Monday night, was a bonus because her, I think, disability technically ends this like Sunday, Monday, something like that. Don't quote me. But so she would have had to eventually return. So might as well do what you can when you can if you're able to. Getting anxious sitting around all day. I mean, I get it. So.
Yeah, it's kind of cute. She has OCD because I do too. So I guess
Mm-hmm.
we're like OCD.
Oh, I do too. Yes, that's what she was
Yeah, we
talking
all do.
about. Yeah, because it's like if something's moved in a room, something, I'm like, I notice these things.
Yeah, and I do have a little stubbornness too, but she probably does more. So, so,
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. It actually helps you get things done. So.
Mm-hmm. Just one thing at a time. That's the thing. I think we talked about
Right.
sometimes stubbornness is like you want to take all these things, you want them all right now. You want to do this and this, but your goals, as
Uh-huh.
you've learned, you have to slim it back a little bit. Do what you can humanly possible, one thing at a time. Otherwise, you're just overwhelming yourself. So,
Yeah, that's how I live now. It's one or two things at a time,
mm-hmm.
nothing more.
Yeah.
Like I write it all down what I want to do, but the timeline can be whatever. So.
Mm-hmm. Um. So yeah, and then just a little brief update on the Peculiar Encounters, the Hunter Hunted edition, spin-off thing of it. Um, since it's Spook Month, a promo trailer thing for it is very soon, because we have enough to piece something together for that. So it's not been backburnered; it's still there. And then actually moving forward with Paranormal Diver stuff also, because we're gonna have another case coming up with the team, and I think if we have one more, I think after that we'll have another enough to finish up another chapter. So looking forward to a few things with that stuff also. I let's see. Speaking of which, let me go pull up. We can do like a little clip here. Like I said, it's Gothmas. So, and she stepped away, so now would be a good time. Let me go find a clip here.
Be right back.
Okay. I'm all alone. I'm gonna playlist.
I just had to close the door a little bit. So.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I'm finding a little clip here from. Maybe I'll do two. We'll see. A couple things, but one thing that kind of reminded me of what we first kind of talked a little bit about, the religion aspect of things and stuff. Those of you who might remember back all the way back to chapter 1, case 008. This one was kind of one of those experiences on the spiritual side that was really more so issued out by a very, very religious man. If you know, you know. But I'll pull that up here. Find it right here.
Dragon wants to watch too.
Nice.
And what happened next was something that's it's extremely rare.
You're in pain, ain't you? And I said, yes, I am. He said, why don't we pray that God, if he won't take all of it, he'll just take half of it away. And that's the only thing was said. I never seen that man ever again. I know it was an angel.
And in our cases, we've actually documented evidence before, caught on camera of it's formed this very bright, warm, loving light that appears in those stories of people who are terminally ill, and there's no way they would survive. But then this video footage I've seen before, this light appears bright in their doorway of their hospital room, and then suddenly they're recovering. Just so that does a complete 360. And
Well, did I tell you about that before on me in the
I
hospital?
have one of those too.
Whenever I went in the hospital, I weighed 185 pounds. Whenever I got out, I weighed 138 pounds. That's how far I went down. But when they prayed for me, that room lit up so bright that I could not see you. And it got so hot in there, just like the sun came in that room. And from that day forth, I started getting better. That was 1986.
You're very strong, and for some reason I gotta do it here. Can you hold this? It's okay with you. I feel like I need to give you a hug for some reason. Okay? I'm just gonna go with it. Very strong. You can feel it.
Obviously, Eric felt the same thing and said something to him about a hug. It was like the whole room lit up with this great spiritual love. It was quite a moment in time. I'm going to remember that the rest of my life.
Sekusmosta tekikta tahata. Usianda hasikta. Reikusta tahata. Usata hata. Usianda hakasa tehika. Glory to God.
Speaking in tongues can also be described as glossolalia, which is what it's termed as, and it's believed by many to be a purest form of prayer.
Kushara basutu. Kushara hake. Kusara hake hisata hata. Kusanda kesehika. Kushanda hakasa. Glory to God. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Glory to God.
And I can't explain it, but I just felt like when he was talking, he just needed a little bit of a hug. He just seemed like he was getting emotional and was getting sad in there, and so...
When he spoke in tongues, it wasn't the first time I've heard that, but might have been the most powerful time I've heard that.
Glory be to God. Thank you, Jesus. If you didn't feel that, you
I did.
can't feel nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you, God is so powerful.
Yeah. We're both strong spiritually, and it was just amazing. Again, thank you.
You're welcome.
So yeah, that was
And
one of those things.
What happened next was something that's just, it's...
Shut up. There we go. So that was one of those things. That was one of those memorable moments from chapter 1, all the way back then. That would have been the 2010, 2011 time frame. So, and that's one thing about our team that I like. I mean, you put the politics and stuff aside, but whether religious belief, worshiping the gnome in the front yard, as I commonly say, you probably hear that in the series, but things like that. When somebody's going through something that's maybe considered unknown, paranormal, supernatural, or whatever, in our experience, it doesn't seem to matter whether you be Jewish, Muslim, Christian, and or agnostic or whatever. It just, the stuff will still happen. It seems to happen sometimes with no rhyme or reason, but certain things will happen. And this situation is more so for a different place on that family's property that we were investigating, but this one was highly linked to that one because it's a family-owned property, a family affair. And as you can see there, that man was very, very in tune with Jesus, very believed in him in every way. And it was just one of those things where we made this connection because, believe it or not, just a couple hours before this, when we were running out there with cameras, I wasn't sure, and my friend, who was his grandson, wasn't even sure that he would talk on camera because we're ghost hunters. It probably has points of view at us, like just kind of a abnormal situation, but it created this bonding experience that never forget. It was very unique. So I think in that way I became accepted, and my team became accepted with him. And you can see that he's speaking in tongues, which there's been studies on that. People that speak in tongues have had brain scans even while they're speaking in tongues and stuff. And there's something to it. Kind of leaves you scratching your head. Because some people argue that it's just the gibberish. It's just, someone getting creative with their slurring of their speech. And, but there seems to be more to it than that. So it was an interesting moment. Go ahead.
Oh, the night I was saved when I was a kid, we were speaking in tongues around a roaring campfire, and I just kind of picked it up from what I was hearing, and there is some power to it. You kind of feel different. It's basically a different language. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't exactly know what they mean per se, but saying it actually made you feel different. So
yeah.
And I can definitely tell that man was feeling different hugging you. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. and most of us in that room were emotional during that. It was just one of those situations. Find something here now with. Let me find another good clip here. Lupita says that was awesome. Yeah, it's like the Holy Spirit makes the flame of your tongue. Yeah. Okay, here's a good one. Okay. This one, another memorable clip. As you can see, I'm pulling the memorable clips out here. Validation. How many of those, maybe, of you watching now that if you thought maybe you're crazy? Or if you've seen something or experiencing something, and maybe it's crazy. Is something going on that, there's actually two clips to this same thing about the same individual, and they're right by each other, so I figured I might as well just play both. First one is, I'll set the backstory here. This is from Chapter 6, Paranormal Endeavors. So that would be the 2017 to 18 time frame, if I remember correctly. So this is from that time frame. And we had she was trying out for case manager at the time, assistant case manager or something like that. Anyway, Amaya was the team member's name. She was trying out for our team as case manager, and she had experienced a lot of things, but not really a lot of people to talk to that would get it or understand it or help her understand things. So that's happened, before, where some people flock to us that it's like, oh, these are my people, and it's always emotional when you have somebody that then gets validated themselves, and then they can also relate to us and be like, well, I can finally talk to somebody who doesn't just look at me like I'm crazy, or I have to keep it to myself because I'm crazy. So this was at my old house where we had a lady of the house. That house I lived in had its own spirits, but they were way less and very different, more modern. Should say modern is still 100 plus years ago, because that was a 1914 house. Anyway, I'll pull this one here first.
She kind of has a less tolerance for men in general, in part because of the era she grew up in and everything. And then she had a moment also where it's known that my house is what we call the lady of the house. She came with the house. She's a caretaker back in the day. Let me show her the uncanny photo that I got that I seen. I'm like, that's her. I mean, it looks like her, but it belongs here.
So Amaya had a very interesting moment with the bathroom here at Eric's house. She went to use the restroom and ended up seeing a lady in the mirror behind her, and she brought it up to us, and Eric happened to have a photo of the lady of the house, which he didn't show her at first. She described to us and then decided that she wanted to see the photo.
And she had dark hair, and it was kind of like in a messier bun, and I would say more like, she kind of like had a high collar, I'm not sure, but she had darker hair and she's Caucasian, I don't know.
She's explaining, yes, did you want to see it now?
I guess, yeah.
You kind of let it out.
Yeah, because I just wanted to make sure I was seeing something that was real. I'm nervous to see it. Oh my gosh. Are you seeing? Oh my gosh, yeah, this is definitely the lady that I saw in the mirror.
She's about to start crying. I'm about to start crying. I can feel the waterworks coming.
I thought I was just
And we had a moment, because I think we both almost started crying. We definitely teared up. And she thought she was crazy because she thought she had seen something, but then she was completely validated when Eric showed her the picture of the lady.
This is insane. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. This is crazy. Okay, I feel a little bit more accepted. Not really okay.
You're not crazy.
So yeah, that's part one of that one. Just one of those things, like I said, it's like, yeah, and still this day, it gives me chills watching that. It was years ago, but it's still, it's just one of those things that I love about our group of unique individuals on here. And then fast forward a little bit later on, this is still, I think, in that same episode. That was at the beginning, and I think this was her first shadow case. It was a daycare that we got called into, and she was with a bunch of us in a group. We had a good turnout for our team purpose and production that particular case. I think there was 7 or 8 of us, various different, as Sadan on our team now says, superpowers, and looks at us like that kind of thing. That's one way of wording it. And this was her experiencing something that night. So let me get that here. Another breakthrough.
It was pretty deep, and I started crying, and it was kind of crazy.
I think Amaya did pretty well in the first case. I know at the end there, some of her validations with Kelly, it got kind of emotional, as that can happen sometimes.
I don't know, it's just more like validation that I'm not crazy.
It's hard because he feels helpless. It's tough. It's tough when you feel things.
I don't know. I feel like we're each other right now. I sound dumb.
No?
No,
You really don't.
actually, that
It's what we've been saying. all along.
validates, you're actually validating something that actually happened here.
And it says something that I was saying earlier on the green screen while you were outside when I was doing my interview. They're just there and they're like, oh.
Like, I don't know, this is all pretty new to me, like especially talking about it to people, so I feel like I'm crazy.
I know the feeling.
You know,
Because before
I
I
don't know,
met
I
these guys,
feel weird.
I was the same way.
We've all
The
been there.
talking about it is how you lose that crazy feeling, because it'll give you the opportunity to get the validation, which builds that confidence up. We all have been there. We've all started that way. And it's, the most terrifying thing of any of this is I'm wrong. And if you're wrong, you're wrong. As long as your intentions are good and you're sharing what you truly feel, that's what's important.
I can come to this group, I'm not crazy. I'm normal. I'm like everybody else in this group. And that's why I love you guys so much.
And the biggest thing to remember as well is we're not in competition with each other. Nobody
Or
else-
other teams.
Or other teams.
Internal
or
or
anybody
external.
else out there in the paranormal field. Nobody is a better psychic than you are. Nobody is a better empath than you are. Nobody is a better tarot reader than you are.
But they
Whatever
can
your
definitely
skills
help
may
you
be.
grow your gifts. Other people can help you
You
grow
will
your
just,
gifts.
you just feel different
It's a matter of
things.
how much you embrace it and how much you open
Right.
yourself up to it.
And
You
what
complement each other.
What maybe shut off to one person, another person may be picking it up. It
Eric?
doesn't mean they're better.
Yeah, Eric and I have been in a room where we're both picking up completely different things.
Yeah.
And I think that our sensing things are pretty similar most of the time. But I mean, and I've actually, one of my really good friends is a psychic medium as well, and we've had that conversation of why can she talk to a spirit and I can't hear them, or I can talk to a spirit and she can't hear them. And it's because that's who they're choosing to speak with at that time. So you just have to embrace that experience.
Anywho, so that was the other clip from that. But there's so much you can learn from something like that too. And though we've all probably been there at some point. I can speak for myself, but yeah, it's like you just kind of new to this, opening up, going through your awakening, in a spiritual sense, especially. And you're just like, I'm nuts, I'm crazy, or whatever. And a lot of that stems from my experience. What I could see is that you're growing up without that support group, whether it's family that is Bible thumpers, they don't agree, they don't think this or that, or reprimanded if you speak out about something that you think you saw out of the corner of your eye, or what, the nut house is on speed dial 1. It's one of those things. But then when you find out, and the people more embracive, open to this, or have experienced stuff like years in the field, like I have, there's a lot of things I've seen that I'm still this day. It's like, it's not so much I'm afraid to try to explain to just anybody, but some of it's like, how can I explain this? They weren't there, and it's just one of those things. But it's really kind of cool. So that's kind of the brief synopsis of the Maya story and her validation. Again, that's from chapter 6. So it's one of those things. And like you said, yeah, Lupita's, I love the support and camaraderie. Yep. So there it is. And welcome back. Everything okay, Sasha?
Yeah, I just had to talk to my daughter about conversation that I had with her dad earlier about my last night with her and stuff. So
Okay.
she's very closed off to the spiritual side of things at the moment, and which is funny that this is what I walked into, because her dad is not supportive. He doesn't believe. I tried yesterday to kind of explain to him, like, when you're choosing a gym, like feeling it out, like I had Zach do before. And so my youngest was really into it. My oldest was like, that's not science.
Yeah, this is the one I picked out.
Yep, and I made it into a necklace form.
And I got this little leaf too. Rent fair. Go with it.
But she was like, that's not science, because I was explaining, like, if it jumps out of your hand, that it's meant for somebody else. And I had to tell her, I don't mean it's literally going to, you have it in your hand and it's going to leap out into the thing that it was in. No, I'm like, if you go to pick it up and it slips out of your hand, then leave it, because it's not meant for you. My youngest understood that, and she tried explaining it to her sister, which was the cutest thing in the world, and I wish I would have recorded it for her. Because I did do a little bit of video clips up with them, but not... They didn't want to vlog, and since it was the first time of having them back, I decided to have a couple of clips. I might do something on my own, but for the most part...
You make it short, maybe.
Maybe, but I kind of wanted to make it more about them than vlogging the experience, because then it just takes away... They felt like it would take away from their time.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that. So, but my oldest is just... She's been around her dad for the last 4 months, and he's just very, very against it. And so I was trying to kind of explain the difference between spiritual and science. Like, there's plenty of things out there that, yes, you can disprove using science.
Mm-hmm.
But I've experienced, and even her dad's experienced, things that you can't disprove with science.
Plenty of things that science can't explain either, so there's that. Tell her to explore how gems are formed. That's science. There you go.
She knows. She was obsessed with gems, which is part of the reason that I thought, okay, taking her to a metaphysical store where she could see all the different types of gems, she might be able to pick one out, because they've got these little necklace things that I'd made for them. Hers has a bloodstone in it, and her sister's has a zygonite or some off the wall named one. I don't remember what the hell it is. That is in those little necklaces. And so I was hoping that, she might find one that she decided was for her. And maybe it would be one that would help her with a lot of things she's dealing with right now. And she ended up just saying no, she didn't want anything to do with it, didn't want to pick one out or anything. So I was like, okay, that's fine. But so trying to explain to her just that there is that difference, and that things will be different, because I'm not her dad. I do believe it in stuff like this, the spiritual side of things. And of course, her dad heard Wicca and thought witchcraft, and so now it's I'm casting spells and curses kind of thing, and I'm just like, let me tell you how much that is not the same thing. I'm like, if you're willing to sit and listen to me so I can explain it, that will be you and I sit down and have a conversation. I'm not doing it over the phone. So, we'll see next time, because I will be back out there next Wednesday, because it is my uh, time with them is Wednesdays, Thursdays, and every other weekend. So we're going to see where everything happens and where everything falls into place.
I'm glad you're seeing them.
Yeah, me too. I've missed them. Emery was just happy to have me around. She wasn't as upset when I left yesterday because she's gotten to spend more time with me because she gets out of school first. So her and I had a good like hour and a half until we got her sister, where it was just her and me time, getting to hang out and stuff. So she needed that a little bit more than Jordan did. Jordan's kind of at that point of take it or leave it. It's just going to take time for her to realize that I am back. I'm going to be coming back. It's not another situation where I came back out to Illinois and then I just disappeared for another 4 months. It's just taking time.
Yep. So, that's what had happened. Though. So those of you might have wondered where she went. She had a call. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the Gothmas stuff real briefly. Some of you seen the pictures, maybe if you follow on Facebook. We did kind of a video thing of the man-eating lawnmower display in the front yard. And I have, of course, the lights and the Gothmas trees are out. I got to update the day counter, actually, on the Halloween 10 thing before Michael Myers comes to get you. So yeah, just some fun stuff there. Oh, and the new Exorcist movie, planning to see, yes. Those who know me probably thought, oh, have you seen it yet? No, I have not yet. It only came out today, but I do intend to give it a chance. From my understanding, it does have, I don't know how many of the cast, but at least some connection to the original, which is going to be fascinating. I got that.
I'm wearing the shirt, by the way.
Yeah, there you go. So, and we'll have to go back and watch the 1970s one too, just to kind of refresh on it because it's been a while. But yeah, so that's on the agenda here. Maybe tomorrow we'll go see that. I kind of talk to them briefly about that because Birthday Girl will do something going about. Yeah, she hadn't talked about that yet, but happy birthday early.
That's tomorrow. So.
Yeah, I just wasn't gonna say it, but
Well,
I mean,
happy
I don't
birthday.
care. If people
I didn't
call
ask
me
you
it.
your age. I just said it's your
No,
birthday.
no, I don't mean it like that. It was just like I got enough other stuff going on that I just wasn't.
Well, it's
wasn't
it's
the
how
top
it
of
is
my
for
agenda.
me. My birthday's just another day. I don't care.
Well, that's the thing is I don't like my birthday to be just another day, but this will be the second year that I haven't spent it with my kids. So.
Yeah. I don't really think of mine either, so I guess we're all the same.
We're all the same on that, yeah. And I just hate my
I always make
placement.
sure
I
to
hate
take
that my
off-
birthday is in December. I hate it. I wish I could have a redo.
Thank you, Lupita. No, I always make sure I'm not working on my birthday. Usually I have something going on. Last year, my friend Corey and I went out for my birthday because I couldn't see my kids. And so him and I went out to eat for my birthday at a Chinese place that him and I like to go to. And so this year it was because of me starting back at work when I'm going to, and I had to work last night and stuff. It wasn't going to work for me to be there. It just wasn't. So. But yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to make sure I saw you for your birthday. So
I appreciate that.
I've been gone for 2 months again.
Yeah, that would have sucked if I mean, it would have been great, but sucked at the same time if you made it out here to see me for my birthday and then I wasn't even here.
Yeah.
Well, then Zach and I would have to figure out something to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I was partly to start Gothmas properly.
Yeah, you would have dressed
originally
up one of the that mannequin thing that's meant to be a banshee.
Yeah.
Dress it up with a wig and say it's me. Happy birthday.
Yeah. Yeah. Something like that.
A stand-in like a what's his name? Randy had for Earl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I had to bring my little friend too, like her dragon friend.
I saw that come up somewhere. Yeah, I wasn't sure. And I saw that
Little Stranger
Stranger Things. I knew it had to be yours, but I didn't know because at first I seen it pop up and I was like, "Does Sasha have that on there?" But
No, I put him with the dragon because
oh, I just seen it later on. But yeah, okay.
So that's what he is.
Yeah,
Nice.
he walked out to his room and came back in. You didn't notice?
Well, I did, but I thought it was because he was shutting the door because he said he was getting up the first time. I think it was to shut the door or something, and then he left again, and I wasn't sure. I thought he was checking on you, so I wasn't sure where he went.
Well, I was checking on her a little bit too.
Yeah.
But you were still talking. So.
Yeah, because we were playing the clips, and I can't hear your guys' mic when that's on because it's kind of it spikes a little bit. It's kind of hot on the. I just turning the YouTube down a little bit, but so I just only seen him get up a couple times, so I wasn't sure.
Gotcha.
All right, so with that, we're just crossed our hour mark. So, any other thoughts you guys have? I'm ready to wrap it, probably. If you have anything else, well, Lupita, thank you for joining. It was a little bit later, but what?
Happy to be back. So.
Oh, yep, happy to have you back. Last
And,
few,
oh,
he was
yeah.
so busy he didn't even join us. Go ahead.
Yeah, you were saying when I came back, I brought fall back with me. So.
Mm-hmm. You
Yeah,
Friday the
'cause,
13th, Lupita.
Yeah, and yeah, because the last time I came back, I brought storms, and then the time before that, I brought heat. So it seemed like the weather follows me around.
Weather changes when he comes home.
We're
So,
not complaining this time around.
yeah. So
It was amazing now. I think it's like in the 50s, so it's windy.
But right now we are sitting at 53.
Okay.
that's pleasant. Yeah, the air is giving a rest. The air conditioning's not on. We still have that window down here cracked because it was in that finite area of like high 70s. So it wasn't always tripping the air conditioner on, but it was still a little stuffy. So Sasha had me reopen that window down here to get a little bit of a crack because it was just kind of at that sweet spot where it wasn't really.
It was hot.
Oh, you know.
I was hot.
Oops, I meant 13th. I knew. That's why I called you out on it. I was like, you mean Friday 13th? Don't take our Friday 13th away by calling it Friday the 14th. No. I had to give you a hard time.
Last year.
Yeah.
She was thinking of a week from October 7th. She was still on my birthday being tomorrow.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. So thanks for watching. Again, yeah, on our next one, not sure what we'll have planned for it. If I mean, it'll probably be more on the lines of the kind of like the stuff at the end here for my section that I did, where we talked a little bit about cases and different things like that. Maybe I'll choose more of the scarier ones. I don't know. We'll see.
Ooh, it's Friday the 13th.
Yeah, and maybe some other stuff. Maybe we'll have. I can't guarantee it, but maybe we'll have the promo trailer thing for Hunter Hunted finally done, and we can show that also on here and talk a little bit about that stuff behind the scenes. So I don't know, we'll see what we have going on, but something along those lines where it won't just be all pretty flowers and rainbows, as obviously it's spook month, so we go a little bit darker and disturbed. So anyway. Heart, yep.
Oh, one last thing. I was able to bring more stuff back from Indiana, so now my room's going to be even spookier.
There we go.
Yeah, I told her. I said her room was hideous in a good way.
Mm-hmm. She has a Chapter 9 background being constructed in there, so all I ask is to save room in that corner of the room. But, you know, with your stuff.
No, I'm going to take up the entire room and you don't get even.
Yeah, you were sitting over there one week at the little Zelda.
But because he would, yeah, that's where it'll be set back up when he's done with his project.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want that over there.
Because we do want to get replace a spare bed in there to have it be kind of a bedroom too, because the spare bedroom I had for a guest bed Zach is using. So anytime parents or someone comes out, it would still be nice to have options, not just the couch.
And until I get like $500, all my stuff is still sitting nicely in storage,
Yeah.
including my bed.
Yeah, I'll have to make a little setup in my room for my little station. Too. I have to think. I like this table. I have to think of something like that. Cause it'll probably be by my Lego shelf, most likely.
I'm so sorry. You'll probably end up with this table, and I'll have my desk that's in my storage room.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
We'll figure that all out.
Yeah, we'll play with that later.
But yeah, so anyway, without anything else to say, I guess we'll peace, rock on, and enjoy your October and your weekend.
Hi.
There it is. I was waiting for it.